Now to the campaign trail. Vice President Harris appeared in Ripon, Wisconsin, commonly cited as the birthplace of the Republican Party, which formed to resist the spread of slavery. Former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney introduced Harris, whom she endorsed. Cheney led the House committee investigating the events that led to the attack of January 6th, which helped inform the federal election interference case against former President Trump that saw new court activity yesterday. Earlier in the day, Trump held a rally in Saginaw, Michigan. It's a state he won in 2016, the first Republican to do so since 1988, but which he lost last time. CBS News chief election and campaign correspondent Robert Costa joins me now to go over some of this business. Bob, good to be with you. What's the theory of the case with Liz Cheney? What kind of support is she actually going to help with Kamala Harris, or all the Cheney anti-Trump voters already in the Harris camp?
Great to be with you, John. Today's really a snapshot and also a split screen of what's going on in this presidential race. I'm here in Saginaw, Michigan. Just behind me here at the State University in Saginaw. Former President Trump was just here a couple hours ago. Talked a ton about border security, about the economy, about inflation. He criticized Vice President Harris. What did he not talk about? January 6th. Even in the wake of that filing by Special Counsel Jack Smith, it's Trump hammering home the issues of immigration and the economy in the closing weeks of this campaign, while Vice President Harris is trying to bring character and conduct back to the fore of this campaign.
Now, he's obviously leaning toward Kamala with that kind of a statement, because character and good conduct and anything positive that she brings back is only in the form of extra support by Republicans. Liz Cheney and her dad. She got a lot of Republicans because Donald Trump presents a problem. He presents something to them that they've never seen before, or that they're very afraid of. And they're so afraid that they're willing to work together. Democrats and Republicans are willing to work together to make sure that this man doesn't win. But when we need something, the Democrats and Republicans can't seem to get it together. They never get along. Oh, absolutely not. No. Over my dead body kind of shit. When it's for us. But when they got to do with this, we got to get together and get this Trump guy out of here. They willing to go to, and he keep accusing them of having some shit going on about him, up to and including maybe trying to unalive him. He's got some ideas in his head floating. If two parties are willing to start working together against you so that you don't get reelected, you know, the kind of stuff that just normally doesn't happen in elections. It's kind of strange. If I was him, I'd be careful. But I think as us, we need to be careful. Especially black people, because we know Republicans are anti-reparations, and we are also very quite aware that Democrats are anti-reparations as well. And if you got two parties that are anti-reparations and they get together, they might come up with some sick ass shit that might be worse than what we've been dealing with. So let's be careful and look out for that. And we need to quit being so upset about the fact that we still have two parties, but now they're working together behind the scenes to get one of them not elected. I mean, don't you think that the Senate and the Congress and all those guys in there would rather have a Republican president? Maybe not, huh? I mean, it sure is weird to see this kind of resistance, and it's all in the name of democracy. What are they trying to preserve? What are they trying to hide? And why are they willing to go to these lengths? This is unprecedented shit. Liz Cheney announcing Kamala Harris at a campaign event.
Tim Walz did it in the vice presidential debate earlier this week. Now, by appearing with Liz Cheney, she's trying to make an overture, I'm told, to traditional Republicans from that Cheney wing of the party.
The older Republicans. That's all they're relying on, is hanging, and that's why I would like Kamala Harris out of the way as well. The old thinking needs to go away. The old people behind the scenes who tell them, hey, go to a soul food restaurant, go to a Baptist church. You know, we need people behind the scenes making better decisions. Hey, meet 20-year-old, 22-year-old, 23-year-olds on college campuses in those kind of forums. meet black people, over the age of 35 in their workplaces. But why don't presidential candidates do that? Because they never know what the hell kind of question they might get from a person who might be more aware of what they do behind the scenes. So you run a pretty good chance of not being shouted down in a church. Very respectful congregation of people with the pastor who invited you in. The chances of you getting shouted down in a church is pretty slim to none. And that's what Kamala's taking advantage of. And they're not going to church. She ain't even been in no damn churches. She ain't going to no church. She ain't going to that because she don't feel she needs to. Being black is enough. That's another reason we need to check her. She can't be doing that. Being black is enough. But I ain't doing nothing for them. That ain't going to work. We ain't doing nothing for you. Our vote is about to go down more because people are waking up. Kamala, they understanding what's going on. And now you're working with Republicans against Trump. We need to figure that one out for real, though.
Party that on foreign policy, the Democrats are now more hawkish than most Republicans who are aligned with Trump. And when it comes to January 6th, that should be a red line for the voters who are in the suburbs of Atlanta or Detroit here in Michigan or Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And so this is really an effort to try to expand her coalition with Republicans and independents.
Yeah, they're trying to expand the damn coalition. But what I don't understand is how the Democrats have called Trump a racist. No, not that he isn't, because he might goddamn be. And them too, though. What I'm saying is, it's kind of messed up for a thief to come and tell you about a thief. And they know they both thieves. Hey, he ain't nothing but a thief. Watch him. He ain't gonna do nothing but pick your pocket. He ain't gonna do nothing but steal from you. He ain't gonna, that's all the Democrats are telling us about Trump. And that's the part I hate. Because all we do is parrot that shit. And then we were alive. We were here. Some of us voted against him. Some of us voted against him twice. And the man was our president at one time. We could at least give him that. As president, black people, close your eyes and think deeply. When he was president, did you feel that you were at higher risk of being killed by the police than you are now? Close your eyes and think deeply. It's about the same. It's about like it would be, you know what I'm saying? Do you feel safer going to sleep at night under a Biden-Harris administration than you did as a black person going to sleep under a Trump administration? Close your eyes and think about that for a second. Okay, whatever you came up with, keep it to yourself. Who give a damn? Because the truth of the matter is, America is no safer. They can do all this shit they want to do, but until they transform your community and open up opportunities and economic opportunities for you, it's no different. You can go to sleep with the same amount of stress or relaxation or whatever you had before. Nothing's changed. But there are areas in the United States where they actively seek safe neighborhoods. They actively won't tolerate below a certain standard for that neighborhood to exist, for that society, that segment of society to be allowed that. It's a beautiful thing. It is. We all should have that. But Kamala don't believe that.
Who might be swayed on the January 6th issue.
What you've described, Bob, in terms of the former President Trump, is being on message, which is not something he often is. Behind the scenes, how's he reacting to the new Jack Smith filing?
Behind the scenes, he's unhappy. He believes that the Justice Department, this is nothing new to you and to everyone watching, is aligned against him, working with the Democrats to subvert his own campaign. There is no evidence of this, but this is a belief that is firmly held inside of Trump's inner circle and by Trump himself, based on my conversations with people close to him. He's looking at all of these investigations and really believes he has a political burden on him at this point.
Anyone would. If you're running for the president of the United States and you've been the president before and no convictions up until you get out of office, and then you're hitting with all these cases from all over these major black metropolises by these black attorney generals. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yeah, there's some shit going on. And I don't think that we should be the face of the Trump convictions and all that shit. Why should we have black prosecutors on that? Why they have to do that? There's white prosecutors in this country in jurisdictions where he broke laws, and some of them just passed on it. Nah, we good. We ain't gonna even touch that. We should have done the same. Let them do. Whoever told you to file it, let their ass do it.
The International Association of Firefighters has not endorsed anyone in this election. That was announced today. The Teamsters also came to that conclusion.
Yeah. Labor. You can't even get endorsement from labor. But you shouldn't. That's them just telling you, you let illegal immigrants in high numbers, and that threatens labor. It threatens nothing else but labor. And our wages, our opportunities and leverage for a negotiation, a proper negotiation. You, the person that we are voting for, is cutting us at the knees. And some of these labor organizations are seeing it, but the actual workers have been seeing it for, I'd say, about 15 years, because in my workplace we talked about it all the time, and I was just appalled at how many Trump supporters I worked with. I was like, God damn, we supposed to be Democrats. It's like most of them were Trump supporters, and I just could not even understand it. And even to this day, can I understand it? But I can't understand them not supporting Democrats. And now not supporting the Republicans either, but supporting Trump back then or even now. Trump's a hard one to get behind because you never know what he might do next. And I like to support people who I understand their moral compass, and he don't have one. So, no, hell no.
Didn't endorse Vice President Harris. Both of those unions endorsed Biden in 2020. What does that tell you about this important part of the Democratic coalition?
Because they know that she's corporate, and they know that she is so corporate that she will bring in illegal immigrants to work in corporations and satisfy their manpower needs rather than negotiate higher wages with citizens in this country. Kamala know what's up.
And for the vice president.
Well, it tells us a lot about the fight for labor in this presidential campaign. President Biden came into the race in 2020 with a half century of building relationships with the firefighters union, building relationships with labor across the board. He was the first president to walk a picket line, as we know.
So that's the kind of shit they do. And the first president to walk a picket line. Fuck a picket line. If I was a president, I probably never would. I ain't gonna lie. But I would do something for the people who are walking the picket line. And if I did go down to walk the picket line, I would deliver a check to them, or I'd deliver a bill to them, or some goddamn legislation that's going to help their cause, instead of just coming and walking up and down the picket line, and then they go back to the picket table and you go back to the, what the fuck is that? I just hate that part of the United States, that we're always doing shit because it looked good and you're the first. He's the first to walk a picket line. Okay. What does that mean? I don't mean anything.
Working with the UAW a few years ago, Sean Fain, the UAW, have backed President Biden and then have backed Vice President Harris. But she has not won all of the labor support she would like to have in these closing weeks. And it shows that the real swing voter in this campaign, in the eyes of both campaigns, is that working voter, a labor-associated voter, maybe a member of a union, maybe a spouse or a partner or a child of a union member, but someone who looks to those issues, is working, feels a lot of economic issues and challenges in their life. And they're not totally swayed by Vice President Harris. Some are not totally swayed by President Trump either. There's not a conviction across the board that his plan for
He's absolutely right. It is really a trip, too, to see it this way, because I've never, as a working person in a labor organization, or where labor is, being employed, I've never seen the Republicans doing so well, except when Trump jumped on the scene. I must say, they really liked him. I was like, wow, these white guys and these Mexican guys at my job, and some of the black guys as well, but they were really big time Trump supporters before he ever did anything. And I was like, And I just think that sometimes we are off to a little part of frustration, including our Democrats and Republicans and legislators. They got a lot of shit on their plate as well. But when I see them resort to merging together instead of satisfying their bases to grow their base, they'd rather just whatever they have or whatever they're losing. Just it is what it is. It's air getting. I mean, it's air. It's water getting into the boat, and they okay with that. They're okay with water getting into the boat. They're just gonna try to find somebody they can put in the boat with them, help them bail it out with buckets. I don't know what the Democrats are thinking, but they're all Kamala Harris has to do is start speaking to African Americans differently. They love her right now. They really do. A high percentage. All she'd have to do is be a little, like I would say, 15 to 20% more forceful than she is right now when speaking to them. And like she said, I like to meet people where they are. Well, she need to do that and not just say it. And she'd probably be able to get another 15 to 20% of the black vote because she's doing really, really well with the black vote and hasn't done anything for them and has made it clear that she ain't gonna. So imagine if you just say it's a little more, I'm gonna do something, I don't know. I mean, nobody talk. If I was Trump, the first thing I would have said in that debate that grabbed me as a voter, as a black person, the thing I would have brought up on that debate stage, and she started talking about him being racist and him being that, I would have said, I first off, it ain't on you, but I will say I gave the most money to historically black colleges and universities. Trump can say that. He can own that shit. Can't nobody. And a Democratic president followed him, and the amount that Donald Trump gave was still more than what you would think in like progressive years you just give more. No. That's what I'm saying. What the fuck? Biden didn't give more than Trump. And when she becomes president, if she is to beat him, she probably won't give more. I just don't understand it. I don't know.
Tariffs is the way to go, but this is the battle of this race. Who is the labor voter going to vote for? And that's what I'm watching more than anything.
Robert Costa in Saginaw, Michigan. Thank you so much, Bob.
Yeah, guys, I don't know what to tell you. We're at a point now where we're worried about our parties mingling too much. Because that bothers me. See, if I see Republicans and Democrats linking up, I start wondering about our black caucus. Because what must they be like with the Democrats? See, they're supposed to still be adversarial. They're at the point where they won't even allow black Republicans in the caucus, the black caucus. But, I mean, is that crazy? I think that's pretty crazy. Because we have real African-American senators in Congress, people who are on the Republican side. But wouldn't it be a good opportunity for them to work together on that front? I mean, you are black. You should be able to get together and at least agree in one room first that you're all black. And then go on from there and begin to negotiate something that you can both work on so we can make progress in both administrations and not just in one. It just seems so ignorant to me to just devote yourself to the Democrats and then for them to not devote themselves to you. It's just kind of crazy. I don't know why I think that way. But anyway, folks, it was eating at me that these Republicans and Democrats are linking up. It's something that's been going on for a moment. I've been kind of paying attention to it. It kind of breaks my heart, too, because it's more obvious they're doing what they're doing. And we're sitting here watching them doing it and not getting it. Let's process it. Let's look at the facts and let's start being adults about it and quit letting them tell us what they're doing. Let's start watching it. And for ourselves, they're showing you. They're showing you. We don't need them to tell them. We got it from here. You do it and we'll break it down because we can see it. And you guys can see it too. It's a damn shame though. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And see you on the next one. Bye.